I have some important things I want to talk to you about.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. You're welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the whole.
Today I'm going to give you 5 tips that I've learned from running an ultra. These are things that are going to get you to the start line safely, injury-free, healthy, and ready to go. And this is all from an amateur. I am not an elite. I've run one 50 miler, and for anyone who's thinking about doing their first one, I'm going to tell you, it's a ride. It is a ride. So here's the thing, guys. If you guys are liking these videos, please think about hitting the subscribe, like, and comment. It really means a lot to me, and it means a lot to the channel. And I just want to bring you good quality content, guys. So let's get into today's show. Choosing to run an ultra, a distance longer than a marathon, is a natural development for a runner who wants to keep pushing their development further. We start with 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 21, 42, 50 kilometers, and now 50 miles. It's a major test for someone to achieve and endure. It's not for everybody, and the reasons runners undertake the challenge vary, while my own underlying motivations might not be completely clear. I'm sure I share these ones with others who have attempted the distance. To demonstrate to ourselves or to others that we have the courage and fortitude to push through the impediments we once envisioned, to resist the chances to quit, and to bear the difficulty of the distance physically and emotionally. I've had to deal with self-doubt, the feeling of not being good enough, and the nagging memories of a principal telling my 10-year-old self he was stupid. I've had people judge me for my grammar, my spelling. Obesity and blood pressure were the kicks in the butt that led me to start creating this version of myself. I love the feeling of solitude, autonomy, and freedom I get from trail running. I've come to realize, though, that running is only partially physical. The longer the run, the deeper you have to dig, and sometimes you find things that you didn't know were there. So you don't need to just face the physical exhaustion, you have to be prepared to face some inner demons as well. And the letdown after months of planning and training and hours of physical and mental struggle can be severe. It's like the day after Christmas when you realize that it's all over for another year. I can keep busy with work and family, but often the only thing that helps me cope is going out for another run. Astoundingly and unbelievably crazy as it sounds, it's the truth. I ran the Boyne Valley 50-mile route I created in Dufferin County because my 100-kilometer race was cancelled. COVID spread around the world and has devastated people's lives. I decided that I wanted to run and push my boundaries. It was the hardest thing I've ever done mentally and physically. I crossed the finish line after 12 hours and 39 minutes. Physically, emotionally drained. My 10-year-old self calls it unbelievable. My 48-year-old self calls it a success. In the days that have passed since I took on the Boyne Valley, I've become increasingly aware that this post-emotional roller coaster is just as much part of running ultras as the training, friendships, fatigue, and physical endurance. Even when we reach the goals we set for ourselves, the feeling can be bittersweet in the end. My finishing time is a reflection of the staggering amount of dedication that goes into training for an ultra. Was it worth it? Yes. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Tip number 1. If you're training for an ultra and it's your first one, I highly recommend that you use the Maffetone method, because here's the thing. It's just your first one. There's going to be many more to come. So you may want to figure out what that distance is. Feel like what it's like on your feet and what it does to your mind. And you know, if you just want to go out and smash it, go for it. But the lead up to it, you're going to be doing a lot of easy, very easy runs. I mean, for me, it took me, oh, I don't know, was it 10 months? Yeah, 10 months of training to go from 30K up to 160 on a week. So you want to make sure that you go slow and gradually build up to that distance. Number 2, make sure you're doing your training on the type of terrain that you plan on running. So for me, I had to do a combination of road and trail to be able to get me to the finish line. So I had a lot of elevation that I had to go. And considering I'm kind of, like the terrain's kind of flat where I am, you gotta get into those trails to get stronger on the ups. Tip number 3, write down all of your training. Put it in a training plan, don't make it. Know what you're training for. When you walk out of the house in the morning, you'll want to know what type of training you're going to be doing for that day. And then stick with it. It's going to take time, but you'll be able to achieve it. Like the saying goes, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. And that's true in life, not just running. Tip number 4, make sure you got all the proper gear. You don't want to show up on race day and realize that you don't have everything that you need. Like, you know, a pack is important, water balls are important, figure out what you're going to be eating is important. All these things matter, guys. Having the right shoes makes a big difference. Because again, you have to have the right shoes for the right type of trail. Tip number 5, make sure you do your recon on the trail that you're going to be running. There's nothing worse than showing up and realizing that you may have miscalculated or misunderstood the course that you're going to be running. Whether you do it online because you can't physically fly there, or you actually go and run the trail. For me, I actually was right in my backyard since I created it. So it was very easy for me to run and know what I was running on. Oh, let's just keep going. Tip number 6. Make sure you know where you're going to put all your aid. Right? Set up those drop bags, aid stations, whatever you want to call them. And make sure you've got everything there. Tip number, I think it's 7. Your mind is going to go to places where you never thought it would go. You're going to find yourself emotional. You may not know why. And then a little while later, you may then realize what was making you upset. All this negative energy that we build up within our side of ourselves, man, it can bubble up from when you're a kid, if you're in an abusive relationship, whatever it is, whatever you've tucked away in those little dark corners of your mind, just know that they may resurface, and you may have to confront them while you're on your run. It happened to me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Make sure you bring enough toilet paper. Oh my gosh, you don't want to run. You don't want to run out. And make sure you dig a hole and bury it. You don't want anyone else coming by stepping in it. Speaking of washroom break, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I'll probably be on video camera if I go over here. Oh, for crying out loud. You gotta go, you gotta go. You know I love all you guys, but I ain't gonna run through that. Sorry, it ain't gonna happen. It's just too cold and I'm too far away from home. I guess this is my turnaround point.
Lights are shining bright. My friends are in the club, we'll go all night. I see you in the back, the mood is right. If I just had your number, I would let you know how I feel. You walk up to me, start dancing to the music, energies like this was meant to be. Take my hand, I feel my heart beat, and I don't want this moment to stop. Time to go home.
All right, guys, so we're gonna wrap it up here. If you like these videos, I may have another one here that you may like, and it's when I ran my Boyne Valley 50 miler. So it's right here. Go ahead and click it, or you can go ahead and click on this other one here that's being recommended.
I really wanted
All right,
to get
hopefully
it
you have
right.
a good one. See you next week. Get out and run.
Trying to find some balance in my life.